Miss Universe, Miss Cote de Voir is just so drop dead gorgeous, graceful, and elegant. Just thought I put that out there. Welcome to the Lauren Blackwell channel. For an organization such as the Miss Universe competition that is supposed to be about inner and outer beauty, specifically inner beauty and beauty in the world, promoting beautiful actions, beautiful thoughts, beautiful behaviors, etc. Their Miss Universe competition sure has a lot of ugliness. And I'm not just talking about the recent event that happened where a lot of the contestants had to walk out because of the drama caused by a back and forth between Mr. Not, an official of the organization, and Miss Mexico, the current Miss Universe. It's a lot more other things. There's a lot of conflicts of interest issues. There's a lot of a lack of transparency and lack of credibility. There's just a lot going on that is causing people to lose faith and trust in that organization. Even some of the judges are starting to back out and away from the organization. There's one judge that has left, and there's another that is threatening to not return if some of these issues are not rectified. We're going to try to talk about a couple of these issues because there's a lot that's been going on over the years, but I'll try to talk about 2 or 3 of these issues and how people's attitude is towards the fact that Miss Mexico was crowned Miss Universe. That's a whole nother drama. So on November 21st, the final event for Miss Universe 2025 was performed and Miss Mexico was crowned Miss Universe 2025. A lot of people are excited. They're congratulating her because they believe that she epitomizes what a Miss Universe should be and should act like, because she stood up for her rights. And Miss Universe competition is just as much about women's rights and human rights as much as it is about beauty. Okay, that's the inner beauty part of it. So a lot of people believe that she showcased how a person should react in the face of adversity, by standing up for oneself and speaking out when necessary. However, there's also a lot of people that believe that she was crowned Miss Universe because of the events that transpired and as a way for the organization to avoid a lawsuit. A lot of people were threatening to sue the organization because of how disrespectfully some of the women were treated during the events that occurred when Mr. Nawat berated Miss Mexico for not posting enough of promotional content about the competition on her platform. That conversation did not go very well, and Miss Mexico and Mr. Nawat ended up going back and forth in a room full of contestants. Mr. Nawat repeatedly told her to stop speaking while she was trying to get her point across, and he went ahead to say, if anyone wants to continue the contest, sit down. If you step out, the rest of the girls continue. So basically he said if anyone was disruptive or did not sit down because they were all standing up, because it was a heated exchange, and Miss Mexico walked out, and he said anyone that does not remain in the room will not continue with the competition. They all still left. We all saw the video. Well, not all of them, but most of the girls walked out. Some of them were standing because they were trying to figure out what to do, and some of them remained seated, but it was a heated exchange and Miss Mexico was not happy about it. Later on, she said that Mr. Nawat called her a dummy and said that she was dumb, but Mr. Nawat denied that and said he said that she is causing a lot of damage. So either way, Mr. Nawat ended up apologizing and he was removed from the process for this year. Whether or not he'll be returning, I don't know. Maybe he was terminated. I did not follow his, like, whatever happened to him afterwards. I know that he was removed. I just don't know if he could return. So Miss Mexico went on with the competition with the other girls and she ended up getting crowned. And now there are people that are saying that it was damage control that forced the organization to crown Miss Mexico as Miss Universe 2025, because according to some people, a lot of people believe that she did not stand out as much as the other girls, and the only time she stood out was during that drama, and with the questions that she answered and everything else, she was not exceptional in any way, and she should not have been crowned Miss Universe 2025. So basically they said that she does not deserve the crown. Obviously, a lot of people are going to disagree with this because, here's the thing. It's difficult to determine a person's true character unless they're under some form of pressure. And when she was under pressure, we saw how she reacted. And not only that, but the other girls, the other contestants, followed her lead. If people follow your lead, are you not a leader? And while we can put it as a plus on her and say that it adds to her credibility as deserving to be Miss Universe, but we could also say that speaks to the character of the other contestants, because the other contestants took it upon themselves to support another woman. So you can look at it either way. Is it that she was just such an amazing leader that she led the other girls to support her and follow suit in what she did? Or is it that the other girls are truly about women empowerment and they decided to follow her in order to support her, which is a plus on the other girls? Because the fact of the matter is, we do not know if Miss Mexico would have done the same for another girl. And we don't know that because the circumstance never arose for us to see what she would have done. But walking out certainly signifies that she stood up for herself. So yeah, it's just a lot of back and forth about this, but that's not the only issue. So that's just one of the issues. However, this is the main reason why people believe that Miss Universe should not have been Miss Mexico. A lot of people are saying that it should go to Miss Cote de Voir because she is more deserving and she performed better in the question and answers. And it's just a lot of people saying that. Her name kept coming up, Miss Cote de Voir, Miss Cote de Voir. And yeah, so it depends on how you see it. People are also saying that Miss Mexico's family has ties with the Miss Universe organization, and because of that they may have influenced the judge's decision to help her win. I don't know how true this is, or I don't know how closely her family works with the Miss Universe competition and how much of an influence her family has, but a lot of people believe that the influence from her family and some chess pieces may have been moved to help her win. I don't know, there isn't a lot of information on that. Plus, there's so many people involved with the Miss Universe competition that have some sort of influence one way or another with the judges and the judging process and the process in general, not just Miss Mexico, but they're bringing hers up a lot. If her family was this huge influence and is well known by the organization, then perhaps she may not have been disrespected the way that she was. I don't know, or maybe Mr. Nawat is unaware of that. But yeah, that's just something people are saying. Somebody else that disagrees with the way that the organization chose the winner is one of the judges. Her name is Natalie Glebova, and she is former Miss Universe as well. Very pretty lady, but she does not seem to agree with how the process was conducted this year. She in a nutshell said it was extra shady. She did not put it in those words, but that's basically what she said. This is exactly what she said. She said, as a judge this year, I can only speak for myself when I cast my votes. Please remember that each person has their own opinion and not one single person can influence the result. However, this must be said. When I competed in 2005 and years prior, I recall there was always an auditor that came on stage with sealed results from accounting firm. I would like to bring that back, please. Until then, I don't think I will be participating as a judge again. So basically, she's insinuating that certain steps that normally increases the credibility of the resulting process were skipped this year, and the accounting firm that performs the audits prior to the winner being selected did not do so this year, and it's as if the winner was just selected and then told to the judges, and that is who was revealed. And it's like some people somewhere up top chose Miss Mexico. That's what she's insinuating. She did not say that, but yeah, that's what I'm getting from what she's saying here. She does not like the fact that the auditing steps were skipped this year, because why would you skip an auditing step unless you really want to push someone to the front, right? But then can you blame them for trying to avoid a lawsuit? How much is that going to cost them? And then it's going to cost them more of their reputation that's already in the gutters. So it's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's fair to the other girls for one person to be crowned if they did not deserve it. But if she does deserve it, and all of this drama is coming out because people don't want her to be the winner, then that's going to be stressful for her as well, because these girls work hard to get to this point, and it's not fair for you to be crowned Miss Universe and then for so many people, including judges, to come out and say that you do not deserve to win. But have we ever had circumstances where judges come out and boldly insinuate that something shady went on after a person has been crowned Miss Universe? I don't know, maybe there's always drama with these organizations, so I wouldn't be surprised if there has been, but I've never heard it this loudly and boldly before. And what this Natalie Glebova lady is saying, the former Miss Universe, she was very specific with her issues with it, so we can't just dismiss what she said, because why else would they skip an auditing process? Unless you're afraid that that process will exclude something that you don't want to have excluded, right? So yeah, so that's what she said. She did say she will not be participating as a judge again until this issue is rectified, which is true. They need to do something to gain back their reputation, because they're really losing their good reputation in this organization. Now, speaking of more transparency and conflict of interests, this same lady, Natalie, former Miss Universe, that criticized the judging process, also has a conflict of interest, because as a judge in Miss Universe 2025, she is a coach to one of the contestants, Miss Canada. I'm not sure how this happened, how you can coach someone one-on-one and also be a judge. How would you not be compelled to choose the person that you coached? Because coaching is part of your career. It's something you promote, and it's something you want to continue to do, which means you're going to portray yourself as someone who's able to coach a contestant into becoming the next Miss Universe. Well, how can you say that if none of your clients have ever won Miss Universe? So you're going to want your clients to win Miss Universe, and then you're sitting there as a judge knowing full well that you want your clients to win Miss Universe. Of course you're going to vote in favor of the person you have coached. So that is also another conflict of interest. So she is criticizing the Miss Universe organization for skipping on the auditing process that's supposed to choose the right person. However, she has her own clients that she has coached outside of the organization, and her client is there as a contestant and she's sitting there as a judge, and it's like, girl, what are we doing? So that is also conflict of interest, and a lot of people pointed this out. I don't know if she addressed it or not. It doesn't seem like she has. Maybe she will in the future. And if she's going to continue to coach contestants, then she cannot be serving as a judge anyway. That's what I think. But somehow they allow it. It's just, this organization is starting to seem very corrupt, you know? It's like they don't even try to stick to the rules. They just do whatever. So that is where Natalie Glebova, the former judge, stands on this. And if you thought that was the end of the drama, boy, are you wrong. Because another judge who goes by the name Omar Harfouch, I probably massacred that name, but we'll just stick to Omar. Omar also resigned from the judging panel because he said there were too many irregularities, aka cheating, in a lot of what transpired in the organization, and the methods that they used to choose the 30 finalists was very shady. In a nutshell, he said even before all the contestants, there are about 136 contestants, I believe, before 136 of the contestants have even performed in the preliminary round of the competition, they have already chosen, this secret panel or jury have already chosen 30 finalists. How can you choose finalists before seeing all the contestants? You know, isn't that crazy? So is it like a first come, first serve? Or is it, you know, something else is going on? How do they select this? Is it based on just the overall look that they want? Is it based on some under the table funds that were exchanged? What's it based on? So anyway, he complained about this, that 30 finalists should not have been chosen before the 136 contestants have completed their preliminary rounds of performance, and that was his biggest issue, and that certainly does not sound right at all. So he left. He said it was corrupt, and he left. This is Omar. Okay, so that's another judge that has left. If the judges themselves are saying that the process is corrupt, then, well, the process is corrupt, because these are the judges. Even the judges are being excluded from the steps that's supposed to lead to choosing a winner. So how do we not agree that the process is corrupt, you know? It's just, I don't know. But just because there's a lot of corruption along the way, and I really want to stress this, just because there's all of this shady steps being taken does not mean that Miss Mexico does not deserve the crown. But I think that if she is crowned the winner and she did behave in a way that is graceful and portrays leadership, then yeah, I guess she should keep the crown. It's unfortunate that all of these shady dealings by the organization is overshadowing her win, and I don't think that's fair. And these issues are issues that need to be addressed. We cannot simply ignore them, but at the same time, I think she has won and she needs to be celebrated, while alongside the organization need to work to fix all of these issues that are starting to overshadow their winners. because this news and this drama is overshadowing her win, and it's not good. And it's just too much corruption. When judges begin to quit, it definitely needs to be looked into. So yeah, that's all that I have with the drama with Miss Universe. It's a whole lot. There's a lot. There's a lot more, but there's only so much that I can get into. So that's all I can say about this for now. With all of that being said, it is very difficult to ignore the fact that a lot of people were chanting Miss Cote de Voir when she was eliminated. I mean, how do you ignore that? That did not happen for a lot of the other contestants. And that lady is drop dead gorgeous. That's all I have on Miss Universe for now and the drama surrounding this. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next one. Bye guys.